Hi, my name is Jess Richardson, and I'm a survivor of sex trafficking and a former sex worker. As you may already know, there's a lot of information and unfortunately misinformation about trafficking in the sex industry. The media portrays a very limited and many times inaccurate view of what trafficking looks like in the culture today. Ultimately, my goal is to create unity among the people who are passionate about stopping trafficking and with the people who are passionate about sex worker rights. I believe that both sides, the anti-trafficking advocates and the sex worker rights advocates, have many of the same goals. Both sides want to stop and prosecute child abusers. Both sides want to stop rapists. Both sides want to end violence, and both sides want to stop trafficking. I truly believe that we can find middle ground and we can make huge strides to stop the unsafe conditions that both sex workers and trafficking survivors face within the sex industry, while providing quality resources, support, and safety for those who desire to stay in the sex industry and for those who choose to exit. Our first step is to define the sex industry. The sex industry is normally defined by the mediums or tools used to sell sexual pleasure. For example, if we say strip clubs are the sex industry, we're only partially correct. In the same way, if we say pornography is the sex industry, again, we're only partially correct. An artist uses mediums to create art. Some of those mediums are acrylic paint, watercolor, charcoal, colored pencils, spray paint, etc. An artist cannot be fully defined solely by their medium used to create the art. Some acrylic paint artists create very elegant and graceful paintings, while others create very volatile and intense paintings, both utilizing the same medium. In the same way, some individuals may utilize a strip club to provide for their children, while others are forced to use the same medium, the strip club, to make a quota for their pimp or trafficker. Some of the mediums of the sex industry are strip clubs, escort services, pornography, phone sex. The list goes on and on. There are literally thousands and thousands of mediums used to provide sexual pleasure. Using a medium to describe someone in the sex industry grossly simplifies a very complex system. We must seek to understand the individuals within the sex industry rather than focusing on the mediums used to provide sexual pleasure. So all of this doesn't describe the sex industry, but rather the mediums used to sell sexual pleasure. It's part of the equation, but not the full equation. What we miss when looking only at the mediums is the actual people who are a part of and take part in the sex industry. These people fall into three major categories. The first of the three types of people are people who profit from the sex industry but do not provide actual sexual services. So this ranges from the obvious, such as traffickers, strip club owners, brothel owners, to the not so obvious, such as hotel chains that offer pay-per-view pornography and hourly motel owners. Now, of course, some of the people in this demographic are criminals and they are forcing people into this life. However, some of the times they're just people who are engaging in standard business practices. So the second demographic of people is the consumer. They're called the buyer, John, trick, viewers, whatever you want to call them. Most of these people are individuals who do not seek to hurt or abuse others, but simply engage in a business transaction where a service is provided and they are happy to pay for it. However, some of these people fall under the guise of being a buyer in order to rape, assault, and murder those who are providing services. Unfortunately, our current laws make those providing services an easy target for criminals. And lastly, but certainly not least, are the individuals who are providing actual services, either as a sex worker or while being trafficked or exploited. The purpose of the sex sells training is to dive deeper into a holistic understanding of the sex industry, define the terms that we use when communicating with each other and with the news media, and to provide quality and holistic resources that address the systemic issues such as racism, gender inequality, poverty, homelessness, abuse, economic equality, and class. I believe that no matter your background and no matter your belief in God, religion, or spirituality, that we can unite under the common goal that no one deserves to be raped, beaten, attacked, murdered, abused, or trafficked, regardless of their age, gender, race, sexual orientation, or class. I believe that we can unite under the common goal of wanting to provide quality resources for individuals who have been in or are currently in the sex industry, including trafficking survivors and sex workers. And I believe that we can unite under the common goal that we need quality resources in every community. If you agree with these 3 statements and you have a heart to learn more, I'm going to urge you to jump in and take the sex sells training. Join our online community. Engage with other people who have the same heart and the same vision to learn more, create holistic change, address the systemic issues, and create a culture and a community that is safe for all people. I understand that some of these words, some of these thoughts may feel very challenging to your worldview. But rest assured that my heart is to come from a place that equips you with a better understanding of the sex industry based on unconditional love, mutual respect, dignity, honor, and more respect for all people. Thank you.